Today, we're going to dive into one of the most incredible wildlife comeback stories on the entire planet. We're talking about how India, really against all odds, managed to save its iconic tiger. And trust me, this isn't just a story about an animal. It's a total masterclass in strategy, tech, and just pure determination.
So really, the whole challenge boils down to this one single question. I mean, think about it. Tigers are solitary. They're elusive. They're absolute masters of camouflage. So if you want to save them, you first have to find them. You have to count them accurately. And for a very, very long time, that was the hardest part of the puzzle.
You know, the story really has two defining moments. It all starts with a lot of hope back in 1973 with Project Tiger. But the real honest-to-goodness turning point, that came in 2005. At the Sariska Reserve, a place everyone thought it was a safe haven, officials made a jaw-dropping discovery. Every single tiger was gone, vanished. It was this massive national wake-up call that proved, without a doubt, the old ways just weren't working. A radical new approach was needed, and fast.
So what do you do? How do you respond to a crisis like that? Well, the first step was to build a fortress. Now, not a literal one with walls and moats, but a legal and geographical one, designed from the ground up to give tigers the ultimate protection.
The master architect of this whole fortress is the National Tiger Conservation Authority, or the NTCA. This wasn't just another committee. It was established with real legal teeth, and it became the central command for everything tiger conservation. It could approve plans, set standards, and, this is crucial, protect reserve boundaries from being slowly chipped away by development.
And the design of these reserves themselves? It's just brilliant. It's called the core buffer strategy. Think of the core zone as the inner fortress. It's the critical tiger habitat, kept completely pristine, totally undisturbed. Then the buffer zone acts like a friendly suburb around the fortress. It's a protective outer layer where people and wildlife can coexist, balancing human needs with the goals of the reserve.
And let me tell you, these fortresses are massive. Just to give you a sense of scale, the Nagarjunsagar-Srisailam Tiger Reserve has the single largest critical tiger habitat in the entire country. We're talking about huge, protected landscapes, all dedicated to the tiger's survival.
Okay, so the fortress was built, but now you gotta manage what's happening inside, right? And this is where the strategy gets really, really cool, moving away from old-school tracking to a full-on high-tech revolution.
For decades, the main way they counted tigers was the pugmark census. Basically, experts would try to identify individual tigers from their unique paw prints. And while it was a real craft, it was also, super prone to error. The soil could be different, prints could overlap. It just wasn't scientific enough for the crisis they were facing.
So they upgraded, big time. The modern method is this three-step revolution. First, thousands of motion-activated cameras are set up to snap pictures of tigers as they pass. And since every tiger's stripe pattern is as unique as a human fingerprint, this gives you visual proof. Second, teams on the ground collect scat samples for DNA fingerprinting, giving each tiger its own unique genetic ID. Finally, all this data gets fed into powerful software for analysis.
And the brain of this whole operation is a software called M-Stripes. This system takes all that field data, the pictures, the DNA info, and turns it into actionable intelligence. It can help pinpoint poaching hotspots or track a tiger moving towards a village, allowing managers to send patrols exactly where they're needed most. It's a total game changer.
All right, so the fortress was built, the high-tech trackers were out there doing their thing. But here's the big question. Did it actually work? It's time to look at the numbers.
So, in 2006, right after that Sariska crisis, the first big scientific census delivered a truly shocking number. Just 1,411 tigers. Let that sink in. That was the baseline, a stark confirmation of just how close to the edge the species really was.
Then, 4 years later, after the new strategy was really kicking into gear, the next census brought the first glimmer of hope. The population had climbed to 1,706. Now, it wasn't a huge leap, but it was an increase. It was proof that the tide was finally starting to turn.
Then came 2014, and wow, the number jumped again, this time to 2,226. Now this was a significant recovery. The trend was undeniable. The whole system, the protected areas, the scientific monitoring, it was delivering incredible results.
I mean, this chart really tells the whole story, doesn't it? From that terrifying low in 2006 to that hopeful rise in 2010, and then that powerful jump by 2014. This isn't just a chart with some bars on it. It's a picture of a species being pulled back from the brink of extinction. It's one of the greatest conservation victories of our time, period.
And remember Sariska, the place where this whole wake-up call started? Well, after being completely empty, a careful reintroduction program was launched. The fight to bring tigers back, one by one, became this incredibly powerful symbol for the entire nation of what was at stake and what could be achieved.
Now, a success story this big, it didn't just stay within India's borders. It turned the country into a global leader, basically creating a blueprint for other nations to follow.
And you know, this effort protects so much more than just tigers. India's tiger reserves are these incredibly diverse ecosystems. You've got the Sundarbans, the world's largest mangrove forest. You've got Manas, which is home to other rare species like the golden langur. And of course, Corbett, where this whole journey began. Each reserve is its own unique world.
And crucially, India is now sharing its expertise. Through things like the Global Tiger Forum and by adopting global standards like CATS, that's Conservation Assured Tiger Standards, India is helping drive conservation efforts all across the world. They're not just saving their own tigers, they're helping everyone else save theirs too.
And the innovation just keeps going. The next frontier is already here, with technologies like drones being deployed in key reserves. These eyes in the sky give them even better surveillance to fight poaching and help manage those inevitable conflicts that happen when people and big predators live side by side.
And all of this leaves us with a final and pretty fascinating question. As the tiger population keeps growing, success actually brings its own new challenge. See, more tigers need more territory, more food, and more space to roam. So maybe the next great conservation battle isn't just about protection anymore, but about finding them more room to live. It's a question that just goes to show you how far this incredible journey has come.